Baptism in Blood: The Dark Truth Behind Marcus Rogers and the Drowning of Specialist Dayfal Ali.
Hi, everyone. A rising, rushing river. Not exactly the best conditions for a baptism, and tragically, the religious ceremony ended with the drowning of a Fort Campbell soldier.
News Channel 5 Investigates reporter Ben Hall discovered there may now be disciplinary action taken against a fellow soldier.
In the murky waters of faith and fame, where the lines between prophecy and profiteering blur, lies the tragic story of Specialist Dayfal Ali and the so-called prophet Marcus Rogers. This isn't just a tale of a drowning. It's an expose on a false prophet whose quest for digital glory led to one soldier's unnecessary drowning. Exactly 1 week prior to July 8, 2016, at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, there was significant weather activity. The area received record-breaking rain, swelling the Little West Fork Creek to dangerous levels and leading to signs posted of flash flood warnings. The area was off limits. Yet Marcus Rogers, a man who claimed to speak for God but seemed to listen more to his own ego, decided this was the perfect backdrop for his latest act of spiritual showmanship. The soldier with faith, the victim, Specialist Dayfal Ali, an Iraqi immigrant turned U.S. Army soldier, had found a new faith in Christianity. A brave man who left behind one religion for another was allegedly convinced that he was not baptized correctly the first time, and that it had to be done by Marcus Rogers to be done properly to gain Ali entry into heaven. Ali was concerned about backlash from his Muslim family and friends, but Marcus Rogers, ever the opportunist, saw this as content for his online ministry. He convinced Ali that this public display would glorify God, ignoring the young soldier's pleas for privacy. The baptism, a fatal decision despite the numerous warnings from his superiors. Allegedly, Rogers led Ali to the creek's edge, where the waters were not just metaphorically, but literally treacherous. Ignoring the military's clear directives and nature's warnings, Rogers baptized Ali in these deadly waters. Moments after the ritual, Ali was swept away by the ferocious current. Despite his cries, no one would rescue him. Marcus Rogers alleges that he was lucky to get out with his own life. Despite these claims, the photos posted to Rogers' Facebook from that same day and of the baptism seem to display calm waters. This seems to be some discrepancies here. Allegedly. A prophet's reckoning. Ali's body wasn't found for 5 days, a grim reminder of Rogers' negligence. The military investigation was swift, revealing Rogers' disregard for both Ali's safety and military protocol. Charged under the UCMJ, Rogers faced a court-martial, not for his failed prophecies, but for his failure as a leader. His demotion and sentence of hard labor were met with public outcry, not about his punishment, but about how someone so irresponsible could claim divine guidance. The cover-up, a prophet's silence post-incident. Rogers did what he does best when his prophecies fail or his actions backfire. He manipulated the narrative. He claimed ignorance of the area's status, spun the tragedy to fit his martyr narrative, and even used Ali's death to garner sympathy for his own perceived persecution. That sounds just like Marcus, doesn't it? Isn't it always, woe is me, and haters will watch me go up? This seems to be the pattern for Rogers since the day he began his social media accounts. His social media was a graveyard of deleted posts, where once he celebrated Ali's conversion, now only silence remained. Marcus's actions post-drowning would reveal an even darker intention. Allegedly. In the immediate wake of Ali's drowning, Rogers launched a GoFundMe campaign on that very day, July 8, 2016, ostensibly to support Ali's family. The campaign aimed to raise $450,000, painting Rogers as a compassionate leader in mourning. But whispers soon turned to shouts as accusations surfaced that Rogers had kept a significant portion of these funds for himself or misused them. Critics pointed to the lack of transparency, with some alleging that the money was funneled into Rogers' own ministry rather than to Ali's grieving family. This act of potential exploitation added another layer of scandal to Rogers' already tarnished reputation. You can find clips of Marcus Rogers claiming in his own words that he did, in fact, keep the funds for his own ministry at the direction of the military, allegedly. Many articles online allege that Marcus used the funds to purchase a new sports car. A false prophet unmasked. The drowning of specialist Daifal Ali became the starkest emblem of Marcus Rogers' true character. A man who would risk the lives for likes, who would baptize in floodwaters for followers, whose digital sermons were more about self promotion than salvation. This incident stripped away the veneer, revealing a false prophet whose only miracles were in the art of self deception and the exploitation of faith. The cost of false prophecies. Daifal Ali's death was not just a tragedy, it was a warning about the dangers of following those who claim divine insight but lead with blind ambition. Marcus Rogers' story is not one of redemption or spiritual awakening, but a cautionary tale about the perils of trusting in false prophets who see followers not as souls to save, but as numbers to count. So here we stand, looking back at the dark waters that took Ali, pondering how much more blood might be on the hands of those who cloak themselves in holiness for personal gain. Remember this story not as another chapter in Marcus Rogers' book of deceit, but as a lesson on where blind faith can lead when led by false prophets. This is one of many terrible situations to consider when listening to the lies from Marcus Rogers. Had Marcus Rogers not made up lies to slander Jonathan and Susie Lamb simply for attention, I personally would have not dug this information up. I can say that since he has, and while we are at it, there's much more lies and deception to come from Marcus Rogers. If you believe in the truth, in justice, in the real message of faith, like, share, and subscribe for more stories that need to be told, for more truths that need to be uncovered in this digital age of prophets and profiteers.